So we are continuing with 2024. So for those of you who have been tracking, we've covered 2021, 2022, 2023, and now it's time for 2024. Of course, we're going to do a quick recap so that you can see what this client's debt looked like at the end of 2023. And for those of you who are maybe just coming across this video, I'm China, founder of Sirius Intellect, and I'm going to walk you through how we take care of clients who feel like they're living paycheck to paycheck and take them off of that, out of that state. So we are getting started now with December 2023. Oh, and of course, if you haven't seen the videos prior, go on and check them out. I'll put them in the description box. All right, so starting with December 2023. This card was being utilized for a balance transfer. For those of you who have amazing credit like my client does, thanks to them paying attention and rolling with us, you will start to receive balance transfer opportunities. So like if you have really large projects that you need to do, be it home remodeling, if you want to take a trip. I didn't say that, but
Marker.
if you have like a large purchase that you want to take care of, you will start to receive these balance transfers. Typically 0% for 12 to 18 months, depending on your relationship with this company. It could be longer than that. And that's what this card was. It started out with a $10,400 balance. And by the end of 2023, we were able to get this balance down to $1,600. And so within 12 months, this client was able to pay down $8,800 from this balance. And their average take home is $1,600. However, they do have the option or the ability to work overtime if they wanted to. And what else? I think that's it. So that's the nature of this client. They've already, well, I'll put the videos in the description. I don't want this to be like super, super long. So back to these cards. So that I've worked with for over a decade. So they entered 2022 with a loan that was that to kick off their remodel journey to their home, and they had like 3 credit cards that only had like $300 balances on each. And so this is the Home Depot card. Shout out to Home Depot. For those of you who are homeowners, this is a card that I would recommend. Home Depot has this really cool built-in feature where if your purchase is over like a certain dollar amount, let's just say like 500, it automatically puts you in a 0% like balance transfer situation. So, which I think is pretty cool. So they give you 0% interest if you pay whatever this large charge is off in like a year or 15 months, but it is dependent on what the balance, what the charge is. So, yeah. Okay, so that's the Home Depot card. It's a very small balance of $37.97. I just wanted to show this to you because if you are just now coming across this video, I am including bank statements heavily redacted, and I just want you to see that the credit cards that I am showing in this presentation, that they show on the actual bank statement. So this is the same client. So this $30 will be paid off pretty quickly. Let's get into the presentation. I'm thinking that was an appliance. Moving on. Okay, so for those of who have been tracking with me since the initial video 2022, I had mentioned that one of the Capital One cards did get compromised. So this is the compromised card. So the card that ended in a 2, so it was 8-2. This card is now being replaced with a card that ends in 9-6. So just a heads up with that. And moving on. Speaking of balance transfers, so again, this client has really amazing credit thanks to adhering to the program that we have here at Sirius Intellect. And so they were offered a 0% balance transfer. So the card that ends in 4-5 now has a balance as of, I believe we're in April. Okay, so as of April 2024, now this client is taking advantage of a balance transfer offer. And again, they are remodeling their home and they're doing things around the house. So that is coming into play with the card that ends in 4-5. And we're moving on. You may notice this company. So, as I'd mentioned previously, this client is doing remodels and doing like work around their house. So, there is now a new loan for $3,945 being added to their debt for 2024. It's the same company. I know if you're tracking with me, you're probably like, wait a minute. But yeah, same company is financing this work on their home. Chase has amazing rewards, by the way. If you can get this Freedom card, get it. Time to check in and look at what this client's credit card balances are at the fiscal year end going into 2025, which will be the last year. I'm excited to be entering into 2025. We're doing a little bit of time traveling, darling. But yeah, so this is going to be their debts and the debt balances so that you can see everything that they are carrying into the new fiscal year. So let's get into it, starting with bank statements. Decompressing, so attention to the balances and how there are certain cards that are receiving really large payments, and then others are kind of like inching by slowly but surely. The reason for that is some of these cards are on a 0%, so those are getting the focus. And the cards that are receiving smaller payments, those cards have very low interest. So just a little tip for those who want to try this out on their own. Focus on the credit cards that have very large interest rates or that are accruing large amounts of interest every month. And then for the ones where the interest rate is low, or if the interest that's being charged monthly is manageable, and whatever is manageable to you is what you decide for your financial condition, focus on those that have either very large balances or cost a lot in interest to carry, or if you're just tired of seeing them, and let the cards that have the cards that have a lower interest rate or lower interest charge take a backseat to the cards that have larger balances or cost you the most to carry. So that was 2024. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. If you are not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe. If this is your first time coming across this video, I want you guys to see that even if you feel like you are living paycheck to paycheck, it is not a situation where you have to file bankruptcy. Now, there are situations where the debt is out of control and you will have to file bankruptcy. However, take a look at what we do here at Sirius Intellect. You may have a trap door, if you will, and not have to deal with having that type of blemish on your credit. So that is 2024. Again, I am China, the founder of Sirius Intellect. And again,
never let a hard time humble us. Double up. I ain't telling no lies, I just, yeah.